Just ahead in Prime7 local news, will they or won't they? Voters furious as the Nationals dither over standing a candidate in the Wagga by-election. NAB promises to help drought-affected farmers, slashing penalties on those struggling to pay loans. A new initiative to save teenagers from drug addiction. Has the Ask for Angela campaign failed in Wagga's pubs and clubs? And how you can help save an orphan Joey. Wagga's undisputed #1 local news is coming up next, right after the chase. See you soon.
This is Prime7 Local News with Kenny Heatley, Liz Gwynn and meteorologist Karl Lijnders with your local weather. Now, Prime7 Local News at 6.
Tonight, the National Party may yet defy the Premier and stand a candidate in the Wagga by-election. A bank heavyweight visits Wagga, promising help for drought-affected farmers. A frightening spike in the number of orphan Joeys in need of human help.
And a clearing shower as we go into Wednesday. Local weather details coming up next.
Good evening. There's growing frustration at the National Party's dithering over whether to stand a candidate in the Wagga by-election. After several would-be contenders put up their hands last week, Liberal Premier Gladys Berejiklian was quickly to shut them down. Now Nationals leaders don't seem to know what's going on. Under the coalition agreement, the Nationals can stand a candidate in a by-election, but Nationals leader and Deputy Premier John Barilaro has changed his position several times. Yesterday, his office said he had agreed to the Premier's demands, but later said the party remained undecided. Mr Barilaro promised to clear things up today, but later declined to comment. So far, only Labor has a candidate.
It's symbolic of them just being in shambles, just like this government has with many backflips time and time again.
The National Australia Bank has announced it will no longer sting drought-affected farmers with penalty interest rates if they fall behind on loan repayments. It comes after the bank was called out during the Banking Royal Commission, making struggling farmers pay exorbitant default rates.
For many farmers battling drought, losing the family farm to the bank is a frighteningly real prospect. Now one of the big banks is removing a charge which is often the straw that breaks the camel's back. NAB says it will no longer sting farmers' penalty interest when they fall behind on loan repayments. Jeremy Frost, Prime7 News.
A West Wyalong woman who battled 6 addictions at once is helping develop a strategy to warn teenagers of the devastating effects of drugs. She will tell her story as part of 40 youth forums being held across regional Australia.
Robin Lewis barely recognises who she used to be. She was addicted to marijuana, smoked cigarettes, was an alcoholic and a chronic gambler. Sarah Naven, Prime7 News.
Meanwhile, senior police today vowed to tackle the scourge of drugs among the city's youth during a visit to Wagga's PCYC. Superintendent Joe Cassar met with local police to discuss the city's youth crime problem. He says reducing drug and petty crime rates among teens is a high priority. Wagga-based hospital has refuted claims staff shortages are causing major delays in the emergency department. A spokesperson for the hospital says that more than 96% of patients are seen within 30 minutes of arriving. Yesterday, Shadow Health Minister Walt Secord claimed more than 30% of patients were waiting up to 4 hours to be seen. Wagga Mayor Greg Conkey has vowed to ramp up Council's fight against the state government to stop cuts to library funding. Council currently invests around $2.3 million on library operations each year and says the government's planned 5% cut will have a huge financial impact on the city. Let's get a check of the weather now with meteorologist Karl Lijnders. Karl, how do we go today? Those mornings have warmed a little bit.
I certainly have, Kenny. A break from the frosty conditions as we've had over recent weeks. Indeed, temperatures not as cold this morning, in positive territory for most areas. Quite breezy down at Tumbarumba, 13 this afternoon, 19 in Narrandera, 16 out at Wagga, so fairly warm for this time of year. -1 with a very light frost this morning, but that temperature was achieved before midnight last night. The winds certainly sprung up with that front. Another front tonight will just glance the border with Victoria, so we'll see again an increase of wind and cloud, and that will shift through. Another front will then come through for later in the outlook period. We'll have a look at that right now. Not as cold tomorrow morning, but here it comes. This is the the patchy rain we're tracking last night. Again, different to last night, and again tomorrow night, the rain will be very different in itself. The only change that I'm really interested in is now a follow-up cold front, which could deliver some further showers Sunday, Kenny. So a bit of rain about this weekend.
Nice one. We'll catch up with you a little bit later. Thank you, Karl. Still to come in Prime 7 News. Boorowa's new shopping centre moves a step closer, and meet the roadkill orphans. How you can help one of these motherless marsupials.
And then at 6:30, fresh allegations levelled at a female guard accused of having a sexual relationship with an inmate who murdered a policeman. Large amounts of ice and cocaine seized by police during a major drug bust. And death toll rising. Firefighters battle to control ferocious forest blazes in Greece.
Stay in touch 24/7 with the all-new prime7.com.au.
Developer is working on locking down tenants for the long-awaited Baruma shopping centre. Fitzpatrick's Real Estate has confirmed the Albury-based developer had secured a block of land on Messenger Avenue.
We're in advanced concept stage, so those concepts have now been supplied to those prospective tenants for comment, hoping to have that comment back in the next week or so.
A development application for the centre, which could include a service station, is expected to be submitted to council next week. The drought is causing kangaroo carnage on our roads, with more wildlife carers needed to care for a rising number of joeys orphaned when their mothers are hit by cars. The iconic marsupials are also being spotted heading into our towns and suburbs looking for food and water.
No, she's one of the...
It's breakfast time, and for these kangaroo carers, there's a growing number of mouths to feed.
Still to come in Prime 7 News, the Aggies record the most emotional victory of the year in Southern Inland Rugby, and the reigning Farrell League premiers launch a late charge to defend their crown.
Tonight's sport brought to you by McCafe Drive-Thru in Wagga, a fast and convenient way to grab your coffee.
The Mara Bombers are making the most of a soft late-season fixture. A 160-point win over Colliambley was par for the course in a weekend of blowouts around the Farah Football League.
Not much was expected of the embattled Colliambley's visit to Langtree Oval, and by quarter time the story had well and truly been written. In the remaining two games, finals-bound North Wagga and CSU showed why that was the case, with big wins over the Jets and Barellan. Ned Balm, Prime 7 News.
After the toughest week imaginable, Wagga Ag College put in the performance of the season in an emotional victory over Leeton in the final round of the Siru season.
A fitting end to one of the most impressive performances in Wagga Ag College history. One more try as time expired, and one more try for a fallen mate.
We'll be chatting weather with Karl next to see what the rest of the week has in store for our region. Back soon.
Tonight's sport brought to you by the new Great Value Lunch Specials, only at Hogs, Australia's Steakhouse.
It's over to Karl once again. And Karl, before you were talking about the succession of cold fronts that are coming through. So there are some showers on the way over the next 7 days.
There are, Kenny. We've got a little high pressure system tomorrow. That's going to settle things down. And Thursday, that'll move out to the east. By Friday, though, we are watching a cut-off system, so an upper level low is what we're calling it. And it's going to sit somewhere between Tibooburra and down towards probably Mount Gambier. That's the window of accuracy at the moment. This stage is putting it further north tonight. And that'll just traverse through very slowly through Friday and Saturday with areas of patchy light rain on its western and southern flank. This cold front on Sunday looks a lot stronger tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. That will introduce quite a few showers into the second half of the weekend. Follow-up system on Wednesday next week. So still the signs of some showers about. But again, that rain on the weekend will be patchy, and the areas which will get the heaviest of the rain, still hard to determine where that is. There's that front coming through again on Sunday. Some widespread showers can be expected if that does verify. So all that rain put together, not too bad going for the southeast and inland parts of New South Wales. but again, I think that's likely to change. The rainfall distribution will be quite tricky with that upper system from Friday through Saturday. Sunshine through the north, through the east, quite warm and unseasonably spring-like for the middle part of winter. 20 degrees for Broken Hill. In our part of the world, we have got the risk of a light shower too with that decaying cold front through Victoria this evening. So a few light showers very early on. I don't think there'll be much in it for tomorrow. Partly cloudy, temperatures in the mid-teens as we track westerly winds turning into the north later. As we go through into, well, that's not Saturday, but certainly into Thursday, temperatures around the similar mark of around 16 degrees, up to 20 in the far west. Temperatures of 17 degrees at Grenfell, 17 for Temora. We're tracking through some showers in the very far southeast in the afternoon and evening with a front. And for Friday, ignore that banner, it's definitely Friday. Showers tending to rain in the west later as we track through that system from the west to east. I think most of the rain will fall after midday and be heaviest and more consistent at night if it falls through. Light rain about on Saturday, showers increasing on Sunday, and then a few showers at times next week, Kenny.
I think we should go with a computer and just skip straight to the weekend.
Sounds
what do you
good,
think?
doesn't it?
It does.
Been very excited there for a second.
Hey,
Ta-da.
catch you soon. Bye. And that's your local news for tonight. Don't forget, you can debate our stories on Facebook. We, as always, welcome your comments. Now, the national news with Madeleine Collignon. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.